Learn English from Quotes Warren Buffett. 202100307. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. The best investment you can make is an investment in yourself. The more you learn, the more you'll earn. If they don't have the last one, don't even bother with the first two. Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. We don't have to be smarter than the rest. We have to be more disciplined than the rest. Everybody's got a different circle of competence. The important thing is not how big the circle is. The important thing is staying inside the circle. The key to success is emotional stability. The best asset is your own self. You can become to an enormous degree the person you want to be. Stocks are the only thing that people are happy to buy when the price goes up. If you cannot control your emotions, you cannot control your money. It's good to learn from your mistakes. It's better to learn from other people's mistakes. Never test the depth of river with both the feet. Successful investing takes time, discipline, and patience. No matter how great the talent or effort, some things just take time. You can't produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Be fearful when there is greed and be greedy when there is fear. They simply appreciate the things they have. Never depend on single income. Make investment to create a second source. The stock market is designed to transfer money from the active to the patient. If you buy things you do not need, soon you will have to sell things you need. When people tell me they've learned from experience, I tell them the trick is to learn from other people's experience. We don't get paid for being busy, we get paid for being right. You've gotta keep control of your time, and you can't unless you say no. You can't let people set your agenda in life. You don't need to have extraordinary effort to achieve extraordinary results. You just need to do the ordinary, everyday things exceptionally well. If you lose money for the firm, I will be forgiving. If you lose reputation, I will be ruthless. Money is not everything. Make sure you earn a lot before speaking such nonsense. I think the worst mistake you can make in stocks is to buy or sell based on current headlines. Outstanding long-term results are produced primarily by avoiding dumb decisions, rather than by making brilliant ones. Ignore the stock market, ignore the economy, and buy a business you understand. It is more important to say no to an opportunity, than to say yes. Failure comes from ego, greed, envy, fear, imitation. I have success not because I am smart, but because I am rational. It's much easier to stay out of trouble now than to get out of trouble later. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule no 1. Never depend on a single source of income. I don't look to jump over 7-foot bars, I look around for 1-foot bars that I can step over 7, 1. Whether we're talking about socks or stocks, I like buying quality merchandise when it is marked down. You can't make a good deal with a bad person. Buy companies with strong histories of profitability and with a dominant business franchise. Things you like to do should be a hobby of yours, but things the world does should be a business of yours. I always knew I was going to be rich. I don't think I ever doubted it for a minute. There are 3 kinds of people: 1 innovators, 2 imitators, 3 idiots. 1, 2, 3. Wall Street is the only place that people ride to in a Rolls-Royce to get advice from those who take the subway. Other guys read Playboy. I read annual reports. If you're an investor, you're looking on what the asset is going to do. If you're a speculator, you're commonly focusing on what the price of the object is going to do, and that's not our game. There are a few investment managers, of course, who are very good, though in the short run, it's difficult to determine whether a great record is due to luck or talent. Most advisors, however, are far better at generating high fees than they are at generating high returns. In truth, their core competence is salesmanship. Rather than listen to their siren songs, investors, large and small, should instead read Jack Bogle's The Little Book of Common Sense Investing. Jack Bogle, The Little Book of Common Sense Investing. I think you should read everything you can. In my case, by the age of 10, I'd read every book in the Omaha Public Library about investing, some twice. You need to fill your mind with various competing thoughts and decide which makes sense. 10. It's a good idea to review past mistakes before committing new ones. The only question is whether you're going to do it today or tomorrow. If you keep saying you're going to do it tomorrow, you'll never do it. You have to get on it today. I've learned mainly by reading myself. So I don't think I have any original ideas. Certainly, I talk about reading Graham. I've read Phil Fisher. So I've gotten a lot of my ideas from reading. You can learn a lot from other people. In fact, I think if you learn basically from other people, you don't have to get too many new ideas on your own. You can just apply the best of what you see. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently. 205. Never ask a barber if you need a haircut. Trust is like the air we breathe. When it's present, nobody really notices; when it's absent, everybody notices. To invest successfully over a lifetime does not require a stratospheric IQ, unusual business insights, or inside information. What's needed is a sound intellectual framework for making decisions and the ability to keep emotions from corroding that framework. You must supply the emotional discipline. You only have to do a very few things right in your life so long as you don't do too many things wrong. Time is the friend of the wonderful business. It's the enemy of the lousy business. If you're in a lousy business for a long time, you're going to get a lousy result, even if you buy it cheap. If you're in a wonderful business for a long time, even if you pay a little too much going in, you're going to get a wonderful result if you stay in a long time. The best thing that happens to us is when a great company gets into temporary trouble. We want to buy them when they're on the operating table. I read annual reports of the company I'm looking at, and I read the annual reports of the competitors. That is the main source of material. Learning how to live is much more important than learning how to make a living. Gold has two significant shortcomings, being neither of much use nor procreative. I make plenty of mistakes and I'll make plenty more mistakes, too. That's part of the game. You've just got to make sure that the right things overcome the wrong ones. The Noah rule: predicting rain doesn't count, building arks does. In the 20th century, the United States endured 2 world wars and other traumatic and expensive military conflicts, the Depression, a dozen or so recessions and financial panics, oil shocks, a flu epidemic, and the resignation of a disgraced president. Yet the Dow rose from 66 to 11,49720. 6611,497. I insist on a lot of time being spent, almost every day, to just sit and think. That is very uncommon in American business. Good big decisions do not take time at all. If they do, you are in trouble. I never invest in anything that I don't understand. I never try to predict the market. Mr. Market is kind of a drunken psycho. Some days he gets very enthused, some days he gets very depressed. And when he get really enthused, you sell to him, and if he gets depressed, you buy from him. There's no moral taint attached to that. I may have more money than you, but money doesn't make the difference. If there is any difference between you and me, it may simply be that I get up and have a chance to do what I love to do, every day. If you learn anything from me, this is the best advice I can give you. Too often, a vast collection of possessions ends up possessing its owner. Investment students need only 2 well-taught courses: how to value a business and how to think about market prices. Honesty is a very expensive gift, don't expect it from cheap people. Making money isn't the backbone of our guiding purpose, making money is the byproduct of our guiding purpose. If you're doing something you love, you're more likely to put your all into it, and that generally equates to making money. Investing in yourself is the best thing you can do. If you've got talents, no one can take them from you. Cultivate curiosity and strive to become a little wiser every day. The smartest side to take in a bidding war is the losing side. Games are won by players who focus on the playing field, not by those whose eyes are glued to the scoreboard. In looking for people to hire, look for 3 qualities: integrity, intelligence, and energy. And if they don't have the first, the other 2 will kill you. The true investor welcomes volatility. A wildly fluctuating market means that irrationally low prices will periodically be attached to solid businesses. Much success can be attributed to inactivity. Most investors cannot resist the temptation to constantly buy and sell. Look for companies with high profit margins. The rich invest in time, the poor invest in money. Only buy something that you'd be perfectly happy to hold if the market shut down for 10 years. 10. I try to buy stock in businesses that are so wonderful that an idiot can run them. Because sooner or later, one will. Chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. No matter how great the talent or efforts, some things just take time. We simply attempt to be fearful when others are greedy and to be greedy only when others are fearful. The most important investment you can make is in yourself. Nobody can tax it or take it away from you. Knowing what to leave out is just as important as knowing what to focus on. I was lucky to have the right heroes. Tell me who your heroes are and I'll tell you how you'll turn out to be. The qualities of the one you admire are the traits that you, with a little practice, can make your own, and that, if practiced, will become habit-forming. If you don't feel comfortable owning something for 10 years, then don't own it for 10 minutes. 1010